Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hot Take with Mr. H, where today my guest is none other than Sebastian El Trueno Juarez. All right, so let's talk about this. Who is Sebastian El Trueno Juarez?
I'm a professional boxer out of Brownsville, Texas. 11-0, 8 knockouts now, and I'm here, born and raised, Brownsville, Texas, and I'm just trying to make my mark in boxing and trying to carry Brownsville to the map.
And what division do you fight at?
154 super welter.
How long have you been boxing?
I've been boxing for my whole life. I started when I was 3 years old, so it's been around 17 years, 18 years, and my older brother started before me. So once I was able to walk, able to punch, that's when I was already in the gym.
What was your amateur record?
Damn. It's a lot of fights. I had 110, 120 fights and maybe like 14, 15 losses.
And you were number one nationwide, correct?
Yeah, I was number one in the nation for 3-4 consecutive years.
At 115 pounds?
No, not
100. You were down there.
No, yeah, I was at first. I think that my first year, I think I was 14, and I was at 119, and then I went up, became number one at 100, and the next year actually COVID happened. All that happened, so I had a little bit of a rest, and then I went up to 145, became number one in that year, and then at 156, number one.
So your body really
grew
crazy, adjusted, and now it's hard for you to make 154, or is it hard for you at all?
No. I think right now it's 154 is a perfect weight. I'm not struggling too much. I've seen some fighters struggle crazy, so I think at the moment I'm actually having it a little bit on the easier side, and I'm just growing into my body right now.
When 154 is surrounded by killers,
yeah,
Boots,
honestly,
you got Virgil.
To me it's the most packed weight division, most dangerous weight division, because honestly, right now the most, I would say, dangerous fighters aren't even champions right now.
Who would you say would be a dangerous fighter that's not a champion yet?
Boots, Virgil. If they, I hope they fight, and it won't even be for a belt. That's the crazy part. And to me, I think that's the best fight at 154, and that's because it's not even for a belt.
Xander Size is 154 too, though.
Yeah, he just became unified I think last week.
He fought a killer too. The guy was
Barreau
was ready to go
or something like that. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, we saw him when he was at your fight.
Yeah.
He was the main event.
He fought Yoenis Diaz. That guy's pretty good too. 154.
Puertorriqueño.
No, I think he's Cuban.
Oh, okay.
Guano, yeah. They're honestly, that's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of names that a lot of people don't know, but 54 is it's a stacked division. It's the most stacked in boxing.
Who would your dream fight be with?
At 54?
At 154.
Man, currently probably Boots.
Why?
I mean, it's a dangerous fight. It's a hard fight, but just the name and of course, I mean, you got to look up to him, the way he moves, the way he fights, his confidence, tenacity that he comes into the ring with while he's fighting and everything like that. So I got to give him credit for that. So I look up to him and see his fights and see you can't help but kind of respect it and kind of be in awe sometimes of the way he fights. So I would say that's probably a fight that I'd want to do. Or Fundura. Fundura's crazy too.
Fundura's real tall though. Linky.
Yeah, but
sneaky.
That's a crazy fight too. That's a crazy fight for anybody, no matter who you are.
Yeah, well, definitely he'll give you trouble with that reach. But I mean, people already solved that puzzle already. So
yeah,
just got to get the blueprint, and I'm sure he's gotten better after that fight.
It's only been one fight though. If you really look at it, Fundura's only lost. I mean, he really has only lost one fight, and it was because of I wouldn't say lucky punch, but one punch.
That's all it takes in the 154 class.
But that's all it takes. Yeah, exactly.
So you know your margin for error is very slim.
Yeah, in boxing.
And you know that off your last fight.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a dangerous weight class.
Very dangerous. Let's talk about this last fight that you had.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming off the round of the year to 2025, and now you get a chance. You're in camp. You get a call, and then they ask you what?
I was, in camp. Just got there, just training. Regular training, and after training, I get a call. My promoter. He's asking, "Hey, we got a fight, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Can you get ready?" And I was like, "Let's do it." I'm not may not. I'm one of those fighters that I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything that I shouldn't be doing outside the ring. I take care of myself outside the ring. I make sure that I'm always somewhat in shape. I never get fat. I never get too big. So I do that for a reason. I do that just because you never know. I never want to be unprepared for a challenge, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, it was 2.5 week notice, 3 weeks. And he asked me, can y'all be ready? And I was like, all right, let's do it. I didn't even hesitate. I told my coach, Bob Santos. He was a little more like, okay, let's think about this. And I was like, no, Bob, I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter for a reason, for these type of moments, and that's why I'm ready. Let's do it.
Now, where was this fight at?
Guadalajara, Mexico.
Talk to us about the altitude there.
Yeah, it's I didn't even know. When I accepted it, I didn't know, but it wouldn't have changed anything. But it's double of Las Vegas, so it's around 5,200.
The elevation,
feet.
so it's a higher elevation.
Yeah,
harder to breathe.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I didn't even know that, honestly, because I've never fought in there. I've never thought about, it's never been a thing to an opportunity to fight there. So it's an amazing opportunity. So when we got the call, I think it was until a week before the fight, I looked it up. Oh, what's the altitude of Guadalajara? And I checked. I was like, damn, that's high, 5,200. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
And how did it affect your fight?
I felt good. The first 3 rounds. Of course, I was in shape. Felt good for the first 3-4 rounds, and then maybe like middle of the 4th round, I started feeling a little harder to breathe. My body started feeling a little tired. It's a weird feeling when you get tired, not because you're out of shape, but when you get tired because of the altitude, because of the elevation. It's a weird feeling. It's like you'll be fine for 1 second, and then you'll throw a punch, and out of nowhere, your whole body like that just goes down. Like everything just kind of shuts down a little bit. But I had to put myself up. I was a little tired. You can see it on the 4th, 5th round. But in the middle of the 5th round, I just, in my head, I told myself, we got to get this. Let's do it. This is what I signed up for. Let's do it.
How many rounds was the bout for?
It was a 6-rounder. My first ever time going full 6.
How many 6-round fights have you had?
It was my 4th one. It was my 4th 6-rounder.
So this is the first one that went the distance.
Yeah. All the other ones I usually win by in the 3rd or. Yeah, I think all of them were 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round.
Talk to us about your opponent.
He was a pretty tough opponent. He's fought some pretty good dudes. The only dudes that he only has, I think, 2 losses, and both of them were one of them was a split decision to another undefeated fighter, and the other one also a loss to another undefeated fighter. And then I think he had 1 draw with another undefeated fighter. So he's only really had trouble with undefeated fighters. And I was going in there knowing that he was going to be a tough opponent. And once the fight started, I knew once he threw the first couple punches, I knew. I was like, all right, not that I'm good, but I have the abilities to beat this dude.
You had more tools in the
Yeah.
You had more tools.
Exactly. I had more than what he was given, especially in the first couple. So you can tell right out the bat once somebody throws a jab. You can tell not how much experience he has, but you can tell, okay, this guy got experience, or okay, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing, or okay, this guy's not too crazy. Like you can kind of make a first impression, and the first impression, honestly, it's the biggest thing, because if somebody comes in there throwing a crazy jab, throwing a fast jab, and it hits you real hard, you're like, oh, I gotta watch out with this dude. I gotta be careful, and then that's what dictates the rest of the fight, the rest of the round.
You adjust.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got to adjust. But once the first, couple punches were thrown, I was all right. I just need to be smart. Try not to go too crazy. The altitude's a little bit higher than what I'm used to, so I can't go too crazy. And I just got to be smart.
There was a moment in the fight where y'all both had a little heated argument, and you even gave him a punch. And I like that Sabi's that came out. Talk to us about that. What happened? What did he tell you? What did you tell him?
No, I mean he was doing what he had to do. He had to he was making it a rugged fight. You got to give him props for that. And I think at the moment he had headbutted me. He had headbutted me. It's already gone, but I had a bruise. He headbutted me, and I was like, okay, like I just let it go. But and the next time we were in the inside, I headbutted him because I'm the type of fighter where I'm like, I'm not gonna let nobody walk all over me. I might not get you in the exact moment. I've kind of learned from that, but I'll get you eventually. And I think after that, that's where it started getting a little more aggressive in the inside. And then the ref was telling us to fight because we're hugging, and he was telling us to fight. So in my head, I kind of was like, okay, he said to fight. So I was like, all right, this is not my fault. And I bumped him, and I hit him with a straight right. I bumped him, hit him with a straight right, and then everybody started booing. Everybody started getting mad, and I just told the ref, bro, you told me to fight. And the ref got mad. I think it was mostly because the crowd got mad and all this stuff. But hey, man, I mean, the ref told me to fight. I fought.
Where was the fighter from?
He was from there. He was from there,
So he was a local favorite.
Yeah, exactly. He had all the
So
whole crowd.
You took the villain part then.
Yeah, a little bit.
You embraced it very well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. You have to. I mean, I'm not always gonna be the hero in a lot of people's stories. You just gotta do what you gotta do to win and to basically get fans.
And how did it feel walking out and getting booed?
It was a weird feeling at first. Once I walked out, once I heard his walkout and I heard how much people he had.
He got a pop.
Yeah, he had a lot of people, everybody, and it was packed. It was super packed. I would say there was a couple of thousand people there, and it was honestly kind of I was a little surprised at first how many people he had, and I was like, oh damn, okay, so that means I'm probably gonna get booed. And right when I got out, I spread my arms out and just let it sink in. I was like, all right, let's do it.
You embraced it.
Yeah, this is his, his turf. He's probably gonna have a little bit of the side of it when it comes to the judges, but let's do it. This is what I'm here for. It was good.
Yeah, and what was his nickname? Memo.
Memo or Neto?
Neto. I thought they were saying Trueno at first.
Me too. I thought they were saying Trueno. They were chanting. They were chanting, and then I realized, wait, they're not saying Trueno. That doesn't sound like Trueno. While I was fighting, I was thinking that because I hit him and they didn't say nothing, and then they started saying stuff once he started throwing at me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're not going for it.
I was a little worried because if I was a judge and I would hear based off the crowd reaction, he would maybe tap you on your glove, you would block it, but the crowd got real behind it because Mexico's like another level of entertainment and the energy's crazy over there. I mean, I've been to WrestleMania where there's 100,000 people, and I've been to the Coliseum allá in Mexico, and there's maybe about 4,000 people, but the energy's just insane. Everybody's really into it. Yeah, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy, and they're gonna root for their people.
Yeah.
So it's fun now. Now, you being in Guadalajara, how's your Spanish?
It's a little. It needs some work. I mean, it's definitely not perfect, but I was actually hoping to get interviewed. I asked the dude if I could get interviewed because I wanted to thank everybody there and everything like that.
All right, well, you have your chance right here. Look at the camera and talk your shit.
No, I'm not gonna talk smack or nothing. But no, yo quiero dar gracias a todos mis sponsors, mi familia, a toda mi gente de Brownsville, toda mi gente de aquí de RGV, y nomás gracias por el apoyo. Gracias.
Okay, not bad. But one thing that we didn't talk about was we talked about the elevation, about you short noticing 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But actually getting to there and the weight cut.
Yeah.
Because that was was another bump on the road.
Yeah, there's a big. I don't like, for example, like with what I posted on Instagram. I don't want to make it look like if I was making excuses, because I'll say right now, to me, my performance wasn't the best. I don't think I'm my biggest critic. I don't think it was 10 out of 10. I don't think, of course, these last 3 fights, I've been winning by knockout. we're gonna have off days in the office. It's normal, and I feel like that was a little bit of an off day. Of course, the elevation and everything like that, short notice. That's all. I would say I don't want to. I don't like talking about it too much, but yeah, with the only thing was that you're saying going up to the. I was supposed to be there Monday, because the weigh-ins are on Thursday. I was supposed to be there Monday, but we completely forgot about my passport. So we had sent my passport out to me in Las Vegas. It got stuck in USPS. I had to fly until Thursday, the day before the weigh-ins. Yeah, the day before the weigh-ins, or Wednesday. I had to fly at Wednesday, the day before the weigh-ins. So I landed right on Wednesday at like 4 or 5 p.m. I got to the hotel by 7. I rested for like 30 minutes, and then I had to cut weight. And so I wasn't able to get used to the elevation. I wasn't able to get used to anything. So it was a little bit of a stressful.
So you had no time to adjust, pretty much.
Nah, and it was a stressful week. It was a stressful fight week because I was cutting weight while going to different USPS centers and everything like that. They were sending me this way. They were sending me that way. They were telling me, oh, we scanned it wrong. We have to go to this one. And then I went to this one, and they said, oh, they told you wrong. And it was a crazy couple of days. And while I was cutting weight as well. So it was definitely definitely a learning experience. Now I'm never traveling without my passport. And it's a good experience, though. It's something that you learn from.
Yeah, because people just think, he's boxing, but they don't see the behind the scenes where
exactly
everything that it takes to get there. So that's why I wanted to elaborate and kind of bring that up. And it's not an excuse; it's what really happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
exactly.
I mean, it doesn't always go the way you want it.
Yeah.
There's always that's life for you. There's always speed bumps along the way. You just gotta adjust. Yeah. Don't get, flustered by it, and just have a positive attitude, and you'll get through a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly
a lot further.
That's exactly how I feel with boxing fans. They don't see that. They, like, for example, people with, Ryan Garcia, or with Devin Haney, or with like the biggest fighters in the world, Canelo. They really don't like to talk about their stuff, injured shoulder, injured arm, injured hand, until after the fight, because I mean, if you say before the fight, it's gonna be to everybody excuses. It's like, oh, it's just excuses, and most people don't even say nothing, and you see a picture of them getting surgery, and it's like, oh damn, okay, well, he was hurt. But if he would have said that after the fight and would have been like, oh yeah, it's because my arm hurts, or my shoulder's broken or something, they'd be like, nah, that's just an excuse. Like it's very, you're in a very slippery slope when it comes to boxing fans. It's very. It's a hard. They're hard critics, honestly.
They're the hardest, but they make you harder, and they make you work better, and and become stronger.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a very slippery slope with them.
What do you have to say to your fans?
I just thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me all the time, and this is just the beginning. I'm 21 years old, barely getting started, and I'm gonna become a world champion. I promise you that.
Now looking at this fight, what have you done different? You can talk about preparation, the actual fight, everything, like the whole experience.
I would say, I mean, just the fight part, I would say I would have probably just boxed a little bit more. I think I was boxing pretty good, but I feel like I needed to use my jab a little bit more, be a little bit more. In my head, I was kind of still a little bit not looking for the knockout, but I was still a little bit wanting the knockout, because of course my last couple fights have all been knockouts, so I was more like, I need to keep that going. But if I would have put in my head, okay, this dude's tough, I'm not used to the elevation, I need to chill out, fully commit to maybe not getting the knockout and just looking good, I feel like I would have done a little bit better. But again, that's what these fights are for. These are fights to learn and to go through that experience and realize, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to work on. But I feel like that's what I would have probably done. Use my jab a little bit more, stay in the outside a little bit more, try not to play in his game a little bit, and just conserve my energy a little bit more for the 4th, 5th, and 6th round.
So if Bob calls you tomorrow, says, hey, we got another fight opportunity in 4 weeks, would you take it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That's the attitude.
I'm ready. I'm ready for whenever.
There you go. Whoever, whenever.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I live boxing for. I don't just I don't just train. I don't just live the boxer life during camp. I do it my whole life. I don't do anything bad. Everything that I eat, apart from, when I'm in camp, I'm thinking about, okay, how is this gonna affect me for boxing? How is this gonna affect me for when I run? How is it gonna affect me for when I spar? It all goes hand in hand.
So you don't eat for flavor, you eat for performance.
Yeah, that's Bob's one of Bob's main.
Shout out Bob Santos.
Yeah, shout out Bob Santos. That's one of Bob's main.
Haven't forgot about
things. He always says we don't eat. We don't. He says it in Spanish too, but his Spanish, it's getting a little bit better. He says we don't eat for pelea. No, we don't eat for sabor. We eat for pelea. That's true. I mean, we don't. Every day we're eating the same thing every day like dogs. We're always eating the same thing, and we're physically, mentally, emotionally getting ready for war. And that's how you got to be. You got to eat. You got to train yourself to eat not for what you want to eat, but for the fight.
Okay, fights off. You have 1 week to spare. What do you eat in that week that you like that you've been craving that you haven't eaten?
Everything. Everything. I mean, pizza, fried chicken, pasta, ice cream, every kind of type of dessert that you can think of, everything. Cookies.
Now, how good are you that 1 week that you get do you just pig out or you're still
I would say the first couple of days I pig out just to get my cravings out of there. And then once I start seeing my body being a little bit okay, getting a little bit bloated, I'm like, all right, let's start chilling out a little bit, start eating. Now, of course, not eating super tight when it comes to calorie wise, but I mean more eating good stuff for your body and stuff like that.
All right. Well, that concludes today's episode. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
Short notice. Really represented the Valley very well. It was a good weekend for fight fans, boxing fans the RGV. He set the tone on Friday, and then shout out to Brandon Heartbreaker Figueroa.
Yeah, huge congratulations, Brandon.
He came out. He was losing maybe 9 rounds to 2. The cornerman really got to him. He told him, hey, you want to be champion, fight smart. And he provided the pressure. And as soon as maybe not even 10 seconds in, he comes and he lays him out.
12th round.
He lays him out in the last final round. That's like a true Rocky story. I mean, you did your thing, Brandon. Congratulations. You represented as well. And he speaks very well, too, on camera. Yeah. So we're going to want you to come in, hop in with a hot take, and give us your feedback as far as your experiences, how it went with the fight, and what can we expect from you next. So thank y'all very much. Tune in and watch the episode.